So I came across another very interesting nugget of information. I have a document here that was posted from X, and I'll link in the description below. Now, is this an official document? Was this actually leaked, or is this a hoax? I don't know that for sure. I looked into it a little bit, and it could go either way. But if this document is accurate, then Epstein absolutely did not even die in that cell. He was transported out of that cell when his supposed body was being transported out of there so the media wouldn't follow what was going on, into another vehicle, essentially being slipped out through the back of the facility. There's been rumors that Epstein was and is, in fact, still alive. Now, we know who Epstein was working for. He was working for intelligence agencies. He was an intelligence asset, part of a blackmail operation, which he had his tentacles in a lot of places. And he was, the day before that he was supposed to spill the beans, he was suicided, right? Supposedly committed suicide, which nobody in their right mind believes that story. It was very interesting to watch Dan Bongino claim, oh, he committed suicide. And he was very hesitant to say that because he knows full well that he didn't. Was he doing this to protect the country of Israel? I don't know. But it doesn't look good. It hasn't ever looked good from the very start. Prince Andrew, he's being prosecuted not for his supposed sex crimes on the island, but for sharing information, he was acting as an agent of the UK officially, and was sharing information with Epstein, and that's what he's being charged with. You see, he's not being charged with any kind of sex crime, because if he was, in the court proceedings, there's a discovery process, and maybe too much will come out. This thing is obviously huge, but they're doing this very carefully to make sure that there's no actual criminal proceedings with regard to any kind of sex crime, where the discovery process would be implemented, where people would say, oh, here's more information about what happened. They don't want that to happen. None of the justice departments are wanting that to happen. So instead, we're just getting all kinds of lies and distractions, because this is a very big deal. And like I've said before, there are too many people on that list. To prosecute even one person would implicate a lot more people, and it would essentially decapitate the elite. Obviously, there's several problems with that. So, like I said, allegedly, this is a document where they're actually giving some detail about what actually happened. There's also been surveillance footage that has been leaked, that does not show the same things that they're claiming that happened. This is like, they would have to assume the public is really stupid to buy into that. Unfortunately for them, the public is actually not that stupid. There are plenty of smart people. And you notice how sometimes when they do brazenly lie, which I can point to a lot of examples of this, they'll do this thing where they'll lie to the people that they think is stupid, and then they do it in a way that's threatening to the people that they know full well that knows what is really going on. So this house of cards, perhaps with the Iran war and with the oil flows being cut off, maybe this house of cards comes crashing down here pretty soon. Perhaps our government will lose all credibility, but that's actually even more dangerous. Maybe they'll do a false flag and commit us to a larger conflict that is not necessary. But anyway, this is a system that is actually in reality very weak, and the only strength they have is of the brute force of, you know, the people that actually believe in the system enough to actually follow orders. So anyway, enjoy this little interesting alleged document. Like I said, as far as I could tell, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't appear to be fake, but who knows? I'll just link it there. You can read it for yourself and you can decide.